I want to tell you a story. Not my story specifically, but the story of millions of people who woke up one day, looked at their bank account, looked at their age, and felt a cold wave of panic wash over them. This is the story of being 30 years old with nothing saved. No emergency fund, no retirement account, maybe a little debt. And the paralyzing question, is it too late? The answer is no. It is not too late. Not even close. And I am going to show you exactly why, with real numbers, and then I am going to give you the exact step-by-step plan to turn it around, regardless of your income, regardless of where you live, regardless of how many times you have tried before and stopped. But first, let me tell you why so many people find themselves in this position at 30, because understanding the cause is half of solving the problem. Your 20s are a decade of enormous change. You leave school, whether high school or college, and suddenly you are earning money for the first time in your life. Nobody teaches you what to do with it. Your parents maybe gave you some advice, but often their advice was based on a world that no longer quite exists, a world of pensions and stable jobs and affordable housing. And so you figure it out as you go. You spend on rent, on food, on building a social life, on experiences. You put off saving because 30 feels very far away when you are 22. Then 30 arrives, and you look around and see people on social media who appear to have everything figured out, houses and investments and vacations and a kind of financial confidence you do not feel. And instead of starting, many people freeze. They feel so far behind that starting feels pointless. Why save $100 a month when you need hundreds of thousands? What is the point? The point is this. The math of compound interest is ruthlessly optimistic for young people. At 30, you still have 35 years until traditional retirement age. 35 years of compounding. Let me show you what that means. If you start saving $300 a month at age 30 and invest it in a simple index fund, returning 10% annually, by age 65, you will have over $1 million. $1 million from $300 a month, starting at 30 with nothing. That is not a motivational speech. That is mathematics. So the question is not whether it is worth starting. The question is how. Here is the exact plan. 6 steps. Simple, specific, sequential. Step 1. Stop the bleeding. Before you can save, you need to know where your money is going. Spend 1 hour this week going through your last 2 months of bank and credit card statements. Find every subscription you are paying for, every recurring charge. Cancel anything you have not used in the last 30 days. Most people find $50 to $100 a month in subscriptions they forgot about. That money is your seed. Step 2. Build a $1,000 emergency fund before you do anything else. Not investing, not paying extra on debt. $1,000 in a savings account. Why $1,000? Because most unexpected expenses, a car repair, a medical copay, a broken phone, cost under $1,000. This one number transforms your relationship with money. When an emergency happens and you have the money to cover it, you stay out of debt. You stay on track. You do not spiral. Get to $1,000 as fast as you possibly can. Step 3. Once you have your $1,000 emergency fund, address high-interest debt. Anything over 10% interest rate is an emergency. Credit card debt at 20% is a guaranteed 20% return every time you pay it off. Nothing in the stock market can reliably match that. Pay off your highest interest debt first, as aggressively as you can, while making minimum payments on everything else. Step 4. Once high-interest debt is gone, start investing in your retirement account. If your employer offers a match, contribute at least enough to get the full match. That is an instant 100% return on your money. If no employer match is available, open a Roth IRA and contribute what you can. Even $50 a month matters enormously over 35 years. Step 5. Build your emergency fund 3 months of expenses. Now that the immediate crises are handled, you need a real cushion. 3 months of expenses means that if you lost your job tomorrow, you would have 90 days to find a new one without panic, without debt, without decisions made from fear. Step 6. Now increase your investments. Set up an automatic contribution that increases by 1% of your income every year. Most people never notice the difference in their take-home pay, but over decades, that incremental increase builds enormous wealth. That is it. 6 steps, not complicated, but they must be done in order. Most people skip steps and wonder why it does not work. Here is the hardest truth, and I want to say it gently. The reason you are at 30 with nothing saved is almost certainly not because you are bad with money. It is because you were never taught how to use it, and the system you live in is designed to make spending easier than saving. The stores, the apps, the advertisements, the endless availability of credit, all of it is engineered to move money out of your pocket. Fighting that system requires intention, but you are capable of that intention. The fact that you are watching this right now means you have already started. You have already decided to be a different kind of person with money than you have been. Start with step 1. Just step 1. Tonight, if you can.